Good morning, chat. Hold on. Gotta do something. Good morning, chat. Good morning, good morning. What's up, Benzo? All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. Woo. Welcome back to a new day here, guys. Yeah, we have what day is it today? Wednesday or Thursday, right? Today's Thursday. So yeah, like a little more than half into the week. We got today and tomorrow left. So I mean, shit, let's see what we can finish off with this week. But yeah, we just crossed the halfway mark. Today we got some orange folders. You have core retail sales, Philly Fed, manufacturing index, retail sales, unemployment claims. That's all coming out at around like 8:30. So we'll be there for that. And you also have a bunch of yellow folders today too. Afterwards, between 10 all the way up until 9 today, you have President Trump speaks. But we're going to be here until the NY session unless there's drawdown in the second 24-hour stream or something. But aside from that, it should only be the morning. And then tomorrow you got nothing crazy going on. You got some yellow folders and then some orange folders as well. But that looks like that is all for, it looks like everything that we got going on for the week, chat. So no more red folders. PPI was yesterday, and then CPI. It might, there's an update on TradingView, right? It looks a little different today. A little unique. Oh, nice. We actually broke out of the range last night. Cool. All right. Kinda. Maybe 36.24. Nah. No, I didn't. I'm tripping. I had something else last night. Oh, we broke above it though. When was this? Holding it. Damn. All right, yeah, let's get into it, chat. Let's see our analysis, what we can come up with today, and you know what we can get. But let's see, starting off here, we got, just make sure Discord is good here. Nice volume here. Yeah, it's looking decent today. What's up, Wogman? All right. But yeah, hopefully something better than yesterday, chat, at least. You know, yesterday was kind of just dry, like really dry until maybe late session. And then even late session was okay. It wasn't that crazy. But yeah, daily close, you can say leg candle. It's just like a weak bullish candle. Overall, it's still within this range here, so it's okay. I mean, right, it's like kind of within this range. That's within this range. And overall, like you're within ranges, right? But like the daily is still between these areas, of course, right? That hasn't done anything or hasn't shown any signs of it breaking out of that area just yet. I do like that on the daily /4 that, like, even though you're coming down here, it's still holding lower highs. The only thing I don't like about this move down is that it's pretty slow. So that hasn't been like much consistency. It's been like just slow moves down and correction, slow moves down, or a decent push here, correction. It just hasn't been consistent, right? And that's okay, because it doesn't have to be consistent right now, especially when it's in this area. It can eventually pop out later on, right? But if we could continue to move nicely within these ranges, we can actually be part of it. It's just that's kind of what we've been missing the last week or so, that volume, right? But in terms of structure, it's coming down. In terms of if it's breaking back into the ranges, like you can say there's things to the left here that you are holding right now, below like 40, anything back into this area should take you down towards here, right? So yeah, you have that. You can say the same thing about this 4-hour candle here. Like the bottom of the range is here, and you've only rejected here, which means that this is technically the middle of nowhere. So there's a high chance that could still get filled into that area. Same goes with the daily time frame. Remember the daily that we've been speaking about, chat, for the last like 2 weeks now, right? How the daily is also in the middle of nowhere as well. Like you're between here, like this is the top of the range and this is the bottom, right? There's still this little range here that hasn't been filled yet. So until that fills, you can't really start ranging for real. Like you have a range here, but in terms of the overall range, right? Like until it actually rejects back up, creates like actual ranges in this area, you need that to get filled first. And again, who knows, it might not even range after. It might just be able to break through, but if it does, then that should be filled regardless if it's a breakthrough, right? The only way that it can't break through is if it's a reversal. But again, to reverse, you need to start ranging, right? And then after ranging comes liquidity, and then eventually comes breakouts. But you need to actually fill the ranges first. So if you were to go up, you're expecting that to get filled. If you were to go down, then you expect that to get filled definitely, right? And if you're ranging, you expect that to get filled. So it's kind of like the next move. Not the next move, but like in terms of what's missing, right? It's missing for all three situations. So yeah, like that's kind of where you are on the daily. 4-hour time from the structure, we spoke about that. And yeah, let's get to marking up. But I think regarding the zones, for the most part, it's about the same as yesterday. Like 30 down here, you kind of got so down here 38.73, that's your next support. Pretty far from here, right? Like it would be nice if we can get those coming down before these areas, right? On the 4-hour time frame, there's like more supports down here. So if we can be part of this coming down, that'd be nice. Just need some volume here, which might be picking up here. Top of the range for us is like probably around here, around like 43.69. We'll put that there. And then we'll put this here, this resistance over here. So this is all the daily right now, right? And then as we go, you'll start seeing me using the smaller time frames as we continue to go. But daily, I think these are your overall zones that you're looking at overall, right? None of these zones means like buys above or sells below or anything like that. It just means like heavy zones that you could be approaching, and just to understand the foundation of kind of where you are in the current market cycle. 4-hour time frame, drop down on this again. The structure is there. Can we use anything here? Like we could probably use these zones over here as your 4 support zone areas, right around there. And then I think the other issue is, do we have top wicks in these areas? Because that's kind of where price tapped into before coming down in the past. So what is this? 41.37. We got taps into it over here. It's not bad. Okay. See what else do you got? So this is Wednesday, right? New York yesterday. And then Asian came down. Range for London since Asian, okay. Yeah, so like in this range is just a little more difficult because like it's at this point, like the longer you spend the ranges, the more like minor zones, amount of resistance you're going to create, right? So all of a sudden you're going to have like a bunch of different areas you're looking at. Like you got this, you can use that, you can use this. Like there's just a lot of areas that are within the ranges, but that's because like it's spending a lot of time consolidating now between these areas, right? So like you're not gonna get anything significant until you actually see something significant. Like until we actually see some break of I wouldn't say structure really, but like you see how it's been constantly printing the same cycles where it's like drive down and then you have like a pullback, right? Like constant drives down and then a pullback, and then you gotta drive down and then you got a pullback. Right, it's not bad. Like there's definitely ranges, drive down, then you have like pullback, right? The only issue is that it's going somewhere, but you're not getting like drives to show it volume, right? Because it's constantly just printing like yellow, purple, yellow, pink, or yellow, pink, yellow, pink, yellow, pink, yellow, pink. It's not like it's printing a yellow. Right, if you got yellow, then that's a break of structure. Like that's a break of not structure, that's a break of cycle. That's finally doing something different in this entire area, which means that you are closer to getting a breakout of these ranges, right? So I think that's what's missing. So that's why like the longer you spend the more like different areas that you're going to be like looking at, and then you're going to start confusing yourself in terms of like what's clean, what's not clean, right? So like I think what you could do is just march this up overall as like a general range, right? In between, like you could look at these little things here, but how strong are they now, right? Considering that you just been ranging. So even like coming down to here, like even if I wanted to take sells coming down from 40.29 down to 39.65, because that's like the range fill, like looking left, you're breaking back into this range, you're still lacking volume. And to get volume, you need movement. And if you were to get a movement down, you know, we're gonna have to miss that move then, because even if you get a move down towards like 49.65, that's gonna be a confirmation of volume, if anything, right? It's not like we have confirmation right now to get that move down, right? So it can come down, but it looks like, unless the only other option maybe is like, maybe if you come back up into like 41.37s and then you actually break these highs, then you're breaking structure, you're actually shifting that cycle, that constant range cycle, like that's lower high down, right? You actually break that structure. If you come up for a top wick and then you start shifting back down, okay, this range becomes more available, or becomes available, because then now you actually have like some type of break of the cycle, right? So if it breaks the cycle, goes up, it's like, oh, it should go up, but for some reason it doesn't, it's just back into the ranges. Why did it break the structure and it still came back into the range? I don't know, but that likely is to give you a drive, and then this could be seen as like your liquidity, right? So then this range coming down towards like 49.65 becomes available. But from where we are and the information we have, it's like we kind of need these pushes to confirm where it's going, or to confirm volume, to then confirm where it's going, right? But right now we're missing that step. So I don't know if we can even grab these sells down towards like 49.65 chat. But it's just like, I don't have much information in this range. So yeah, like we can also get the wick entry sells to obviously like 41.40 if it comes up there. That's like the wick entry sell. I think we had that idea yesterday too, right? We're 1,000 pips away still, so it's pretty far. Maybe there could be more wick entry sells somewhere else. I just can't imagine where, because you can use, maybe like you can mark up a bunch of areas, like right here could be resistance. You can mark up right here, it could be resistance going across, right, like there. And then you go in a small time frame, you can see like you taking sells there, you're breaking these highs for the first time, and it's not that major of zones, right? So you can easily still push through if you get a correction of this move. So I can't get buys as well, right? I can't get buys going up towards the wick entry sell areas, because there's no confirmation to confirm that we're going up. The only confirmation we can get maybe is once we actually establish that daily zone, right? That range that's been missing for like weeks now. So if we actually establish that move down and then you shift up, we can look for buys. But otherwise, we have buys above like 4,200, right? If you come down towards here first, then we can look for more so buys here. But you're gonna need to come down first to kind of confirm that we're not actually going down. You know what I mean? So yeah, like wick entry sells are fine. Just it's 41.37. That's kind of what I got. That's like the next major zone for now, and that might be adjusted based on like how we actually come up later, if we do come up even. And then yeah, for continuation sells down, it's like it's clean traffic. You're breaking into this range again, but the issue comes the volume. Again, like if we get more information throughout the session, there could be more ideas that we can come up with, but as for right now, that's pretty much it, chat. I think we're just kind of stuck in these ranges. The weekly leg count is nice, right? That's down towards 39.65 as well, maybe a little lower in there, but you know, same areas. Monthly candle flips too, like daily camera daily, you're missing that. Again, you rejected in the middle of nowhere, right? So likely you are to fill that range. It's just we need confirmation to continue down, right? So if anything, like there could be more so sells below 49.65 if we come down from where we are, unless again you create that structure. If you were to create that structure, then we can be more focused on sells coming down here, and that'll be nice. I would like to grab this. It's just with the info we have right now, there's no like, I don't have much going on here. right? But this is decent. Like this volume looks pretty good actually. Hold on, since 8 a.m. right? Like you've pushed down quite a bit. You cleared out this range pretty quick, so like it looks like there is volume earlier today. That's it. I mean, top wicks would be nice. Anything to break structure would be nice. Like I'm guessing if you, the next area where you break structure is gonna be like these highs, and that's a 4 leg candle fill too. At 4101. How much does this drop down? This is 490. Yeah, it's not bad, but I don't know. I think it's just the volume here. So let's see, 43.69. 43.69. 42.38. 41.37. 49.65. 48.73. What's up, Reggie? Just right. But yeah, it's decent. Like in terms of like structure, like even the daily structure is pretty good too, because like even though you close like bullish yesterday, these areas right here are still being held, right? So it's like in terms of maybe a little higher here, but these areas are still being held. You're still below that zone, even below here, right? Like these candles here are still closing and holding. So like you're in this range between here and here, which means that you should likely fill it. But is that enough of a confirmation? Small time frames is what you need, right? As well to align, and that's it. It's just like those top wicks you need. So I have something at like 41.37. I know it's pretty far, but that's what's kind of required here to confirm that we're not just gonna come up, right? Because if you do come up, you'll see it come up. But then if you're looking for wick entry sells there, great. I mean, you're expecting a reaction off of these major zones here before going up or before going down. We don't know, right? But before going up, you get a pullback, or if you were to come down and this is a lower high, and if you don't get the wick entry sells and it just comes down afterwards back below here, then this move up confirms that, or that likely is to be your liquidity if you start shifting back into the ranges, and then you can start grabbing the sells down, right? But from here, it's like it can still shoot up. It can still be higher lows without breaking these lows here. Right, going back to that 4 hour, you can say, or even the daily, right? Like this is kind of where you're at. So you're still bearish. You can see like it's still coming down, right? The structure, but then this is the first higher low that you have now. So if you look at it like this is like what I just drew out. You can see like without breaking these lows, anything here can still be a higher low to go up officially, right? Without breaking the lows officially, this can still happen at any given point. Any given point that could occur, right? So it's like the breakout of lows is actually what's going to confirm that you're actually breaking structure. So that would mean that you need this to break like that, right? Which is going to be the 49, 65 zones. So that's why like this move might be missed. Like this 500 pip move, if you're coming down here, we might have to miss it. Quote unquote miss it. Can't really miss it if you plan it. But yeah, it's kind of where, you know, what goes showing us. But yeah, no news today, right? Like that was it. Just core retail sales, orange folders coming out, but no, like nothing major. Maybe that would be major enough though, and that would bring in volume. But yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward. I mean, like majority of this analysis done today was like the same analysis we've had for the last 2 weeks here. I like Benzo. Damn. My Spotify playlist. Yeah, it should still be there. I haven't updated that one. I made a new one. The old one was this one. The last time I updated this playlist is maybe like June 9th, but I haven't really updated this playlist. But I have a new one though. Still working on this one though. That one had 1,000 saves though, like 1,100 saves. Yeah, Trump's speaking today at 9, like later in the day. I don't know. Is this like this could be a market cycle shift as well? Like you could be shifting in terms of market cycles. But this is like when it's so easy to get caught up in taking like random positions, or like easy to just like blow your fundeds or anything, just not making, just forcing positions and ideas, right? Because it's been like how long now? Like since July, the whole month, right? So like 2 weeks almost, or 2 weeks, almost 3 of just, I don't know, like the most volatile NY session we've had was maybe that CPI one, right? The CPI one on Tuesday. That was it. And when it was CPI though, like it didn't even it couldn't come up to actually tap into like 4140 zones. Like it couldn't come up to break the highs, and then you also didn't come down to break the lows. So you're kind of just like, if you look at it, you're kind of just stuck between these areas. And I think what needs to happen to get volume is you need to kind of break out of this. So you still got some ranges here and some ranges here that hasn't broken out of yet. And that's like exactly what I'm referencing on the daily time frame. When it comes to the daily and like how you haven't tapped 38.73 yet, right? Like the same goes for the 4 hour time from here. Like you're just in between, like you're literally in the middle without making like highs or lows. So until, I'm assuming, you get something like this that breaks out, or something like this that breaks out, right? Because once you break out, it's gonna lead to 2 ideas, right? For sells, 2 ideas, and for buys, 2 ideas. But for sells, like it's gonna lead to, okay, if you break out, you pull back, you hold, continuation, idea number 1. Idea number 2 is you break out, you shift back into the range, and that's a fake out, right? So idea number 2 is to get a fake out. after the first breakout. And then the other two ideas are the same thing, but vice versa for the bullish situations. But you break out, you pull back, you hold, right? And then that's continuation. Or you pull back and then you start faking back into the range to continue down, right? So that's the same idea as vice versa, but it's like, in order to get any of that those movements, because those are only 4 outcomes that can possibly happen here: continuation or fakeouts, right? That's it, continuation or fakeouts, right? So it's like, before that happens, you need to kind of break out to confirm that first. So it's like, that's kind of why we're stuck here. So the earlier we can break out of either end, the better. And we're much closer to breaking the downside right now too. Like, I think we're maybe like 560 pips away from breaking to the downside. And then this move here, we're like maybe 900 from breaking to the upside. So it's like, you're just right in the middle. That's kind of what you got. And yeah, that CPI move was short-lived too. It was like maybe 5 minutes. And then the rest of the day was just ranging after that, right? I mean, we got something on Tuesday. I was looking at Asian last night too, but Asian didn't really move much. Yeah, that move down, it was also very short-lived. Lots of short-lived move in July. But yeah, you look left here, right? Like, look at what happened last time we were in this range as well. You can't just spend a lot of time ranging, like 2 months, right? So it could be the same thing here too, where you can spend quite a bit of time ranging. This was 60 days in the range, right? This has been maybe so far 40. So you got like 20 days to go. Might be less than that. Might be longer, who knows? But you can look left and see like, okay, last time in these areas you range, right? So you expect the same thing to kind of occur this time around too. That's it. The 5 looks good though, in terms of volume here. How do you identify your range? Because I see several ranges when I'm analyzing a market. How do you take advantage of news? For news, I just see it as volume, so it's I don't always like, we might actually get a move here. This is decent. Spreads are actually kind of good. For news, I just look at it in terms of volume. I don't like look to like anticipate where it's gonna go, because like numbers can come out however they come out, but the moment they come out, it's like it's delayed, or you're delayed, right? Like when numbers come out, or when this news that is dropped like under this here, it's like it's already late. So it's like I can't really make an assumption off of what just came out as to how it's gonna reflect on price. The only way I could look to see how it's gonna reflect price is if I look at price action. I look at actual accounts for itself. So I don't see news as like, oh, a news could flip this candle, or it could break below these areas and drive. Like I see that as just, let me just separate news from price action, right? Let me just separate that. Look at price action, see, you know, what are the possible outcomes like I normally would. You know, whatever closing below, whatever we have structure, anything, right? And then news kind of just expedites that move. So if I'm waiting for a move down, you know, below like 49.65, or let's say, and then news happens to push us down, then amazing. It just helps my price action. It just brings in that volume. Because I think price is already set to where it's supposed to go. Like it already knows where it's gonna go. So news just kind of pushes it or expedites that move. Because then you also don't sit there and blame news, right? Like, oh shit, like Trump just tweeted, you know, like, you know what I mean? Ah, damn, like this move just took us out. Like, nah, it was supposed to go there. But yeah, I just account for price action. In terms of identifying ranges, yeah, like I see several ranges too, but you don't have to mark up every single range you see. Like if I were to mark up every single range I see, especially in these conditions, you're gonna see this, you're gonna see this, you're gonna see this, you're gonna see this, right? But you also gotta understand, like when you're in the range, like you can mark up like just a general range, like maybe here, right? Like you're in this range right now, so focus on the ranges that you're in. So it's like between here, right? Then for me, it's like once you actually break above here or below here, you'll get volume. Because if you were to break, let's say you mark up a resistance here and you break that high, is that going to have any impact on price? Not really. It can break the highs and still, you know, continue to range like it did here. Broke the highs and it came back down to range before taking off. But you know what I mean? Like any breaks above or below here isn't going to have an impact, because you kind of need to break out this pink zone in order to actually have movement on price. Not bad, chat. I mean, only 400 pips we need to miss out on now. Let's see though, maybe we could get in here. I want to see top wicks or something, right? Like so far you're just coming straight down. If you get top wicks, maybe something that breaks structure a bit, like maybe even like 40.62 would be nice for a top wick. If you can get that before coming down, we'll still have some range down here. But that move up will also require like a 500 pip move as well, right? And in worst case, we have all of this down here too. But it would be nicer to get in here because it's not like you're coming down towards the previous lows, right? Weekly breaks at 49.78 as well. Not bad though. Yeah, it's your 4 leg count. I think we had like 97s early. Was it Tuesday, chat, or what day was it? The 15. What day was it when we had ideas below 97? Maybe it was Tuesday. Let's see, pullbacks would be nice. Like I think earlier we wanted pullbacks at what did I have earlier? 62, right? That's fine. Let's see if we can get a pullback to like 35 here. Or 31. These areas, top of the blue range would be nice. Just because we've had like pullbacks here in the past, right? So any pullbacks indicates that like you're rejecting, right? So if it does reject, but then it comes back down and re-break the lows, and that's a lower high. and then that lower high is what we're basing it off of, right? As you rebreak the lows, that'll be a sell, but I need a pullback. Otherwise, like, it's gonna have to be below 49.65, and even below 49.65, chat, it's not gonna be like directly like the moment you break that low, like we're looking for sells on the break. We're still gonna wait for some structure below there as well, right? So we're gonna have to let that count fly down, and as you create structure below, we'll have that remaining range down towards the daily. So yeah, maybe today could be finally that daily fill, you know. 48.73 is the daily fill. The NY session I already moved here decent amount. I mean 350, another 350, and you're basically breaking the lows again, and then below the lows you're like maybe 800. So let's say anything can happen today below these areas. Yeah, 4 tapped the leg candle, right? That's a leg candle, or a couple leg candles you got there. Let's see, can we get a pullback to 31 here? 200 pips we need to pop up, then it's not too bad. And then that kind of like comes near the 4-hour flip, right? So let's say the 4-hour flips or it doesn't flip. Either way, you still got a rejection if you come up towards 31. So then from here, it's like it shouldn't come back down, but if it does, then that's a lower high, and then that's your sells below here for the leg candle fill. I think that'd be nice. Leg candle fill will be maybe like 130 pips, but it's just this, like, will you get this? I don't know. I think the daily leg candle got filled, right? On those pushes. Breaking 3K again. Let's see, 4,000 of brother break here. I'm going to show and break up the daily fill. What do you think, Don? Daily fill? What do you mean, like the break of 49, 39, 65? Break at the wick fill? Yeah, I mean, take your beliefs, like whatever setups you got going on, like take your positions. Like if you're asking me, like there's a reason I'm not in, not because like I think it's like I said what I'm looking for today, right? So between like this blue range, unless we get pullbacks here, I have nothing. So if you're gonna ask me like what I think about a position that you're gonna plan, like it makes no sense because I don't have anything planned in these areas. I have positions either below 39.65 or I need pullbacks to like here before I can take sells coming down towards the bottom of the ranges. So if you have a position, take it. But if you're gonna ask me, like I'm only looking for these two setups right now. or these two ideas that could come close. Maybe we'll have more ideas as we go on within the session, like wick entry sells here, because if this drops all the way down towards like 49.65 and it pulls back, maybe we could get wick entry sells. Could be doable on the first initial pullback. But let's see it. That won't be bad actually. If we do get that, how much would that be? 22, 2,000 pip stops. It's not bad. We can probably have like a 0.06. But yeah, like if you have positions, take it, right? But I don't have any ideas here. Otherwise, I'll be in them. John, I'm in a sell from 0.24. Stop was at 1010. TP 985. Fuck, I don't even know what the fuck you typing. 985. Be out at 985 for big buy. What you think? You're asking me what I think about a 250 pip position that you're in, and you hear it every day, RJ Voso. Every day you're here, and I give the same response every day. I'm like, yo, have your BE zone set, have your trail stop zone set, and you'll be good. Every day I say the same concepts, and you're here every day to ask that question, and you're still asking about this position, bro. Come on, bro. You're 250 pips in profit. What do you think? What do you think, bro? What do you think I would do? You've been here for 3 months now. What do you think I would do? BE zones, trail stop zones, boom, 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 you're good. You know what I mean? But, bro, you hear every day. Is that even like... Bro, you're here every day. Every day you hear that question. You probably get tired of hearing the same answer every day too. Come on, bro. You 250 pips in profit. What do you think? No, like I'm not being a jerk, bro. I'm just trying to say, like, bro, you're asking like, if you're asking about drawdown, okay, sure, I'll you know, kind of help you out. But bro, you guys are asking me about signals that you guys are already in. What am I supposed to say, really? Like, oh, okay, yeah, I think, like, bro, of course I'm gonna say it's good. Shit, bro. God damn. Of course I'm gonna say it's good, bro. Oh man. Let's see though. Maybe we can get this chat. It's gotta pull back, right? So 300 pips would be nice. He wants your praise. Chat, y'all don't need my praise, chat. You that ass don't need my praise, because if you have, yo, one thing I'll tell you guys, chat, is if you have positions on this stream, like I know not everyone here is gonna watch me from my positions, right? Like some people are just here to like background noise, or just here for like, you know, some insights I drop here and there. But if you're here and you have ideas within the session, like, take them. Always, don't hesitate. You don't need like my approval to take them. You don't need confirmations, because you want to work on your own playbook as well, right? I'm taking my trades in my playbook. You want to take your trades in your playbook, or start developing your own playbook. And yeah, just always take them. Don't hesitate. Always take them, and only take your plays in your playbook. Look at this. This thing's glitching right now. Let's see, how fast is this move gonna be, really? 290 pips to go until the bomb the range here, chat. You have like a slight wick fill right here. So let's see. So the further down it drops, again, we can get wick entry sells too, right? Like if this comes all the way down below to like 49.65, it pulls back, we can get first initial reactions, wick entry sells, because then this is pretty directional now. If this continues to drop all the way down towards these areas, right? And there hasn't been any pullbacks yet, so it's still fun. If you start pulling back and then continue to drop, then that's okay, but it's gonna require a bit more waiting, because then the next wick entry sell zone becomes like below 49.60, you know what I mean? Below here. So yeah, that's it. We could get positions within this hour or within the next hour. 5 minutes left until 9 a.m. here, right? So 4 open, 4 close, and 1 hour close as well here. I see wick entry buys, but these fakers of a lifetime. I'm not falling for those. Fakers of a lifetime. Fakers of a lifetime. Bro, I'm not pissed, chat. I don't really get pissed with chat. I don't get pissed, bro. I just respond in a way where it's like, come on, open your ears up a little bit, you know? Like, I just want you guys to lock it in. That's about it, bro. I don't get pissed. If I get pissed, bro, I wouldn't even sound pissed. I just don't even talk. Like, when I get pissed, I don't talk. I'm just quiet. So that's, you know, that's when I'm pissed. But I wouldn't just like lash out. Like, yo, Messi won yesterday though. Going for a wick entry, Bobby catching a fallen knife right now. How much we gotta go? 240. Yeah, it may or may not reject that 49.65 chat, but if it does, then this is your move, right? And then we get wick entry sells here after the pullback. I'm just assuming there because that's like your next like resistance. Like once it's happened to these zones, like this is like roughly your next areas. I would prefer to get in on this range. It's just I don't have any confirmations here aside from the fact that it's coming down and spreads are tight. I just need that structure. That's what's missing. Everything else is clear though. Like if there was structure here, we'll definitely be taking sells to one for this leg candle and then attempt runners down towards the bottom of the range, right? What else do you have? So below 49.65 comes um 49.65, 48.73 maybe. I mean, that's your daily range. In between is a little difficult because you got like this right here, you got this right here, and you got this right here. Explosive. This might be a little lower. This might not actually be the area. It could be 49.46. Yeah, 40. This area might not be anything crazy. Just delete that. Just shift down like that. Chat, based on where it rejects off too, it could be different wick entry sell areas, right? Like there's something here, like obviously it's not a guarantee 49.46, right? It's not a guarantee that you're gonna come down there. It's not a guarantee that you're gonna reject there. So like we gotta see where it actually rejects that. But on the way down, like there's areas like here that could be monitor zones that could react off. And if it does reject off of here, which is 49.76, your next resistance looking like it's going to be between here. So then could that be wick entry sells if you were to pull back up? That's still going to require a 300 pip pop up, right? Towards like 4,008, 4,013, but that won't be too bad. So this is a 4 opening right now. So if this 4 hour can just come straight down here and then re-break the highs in the flip, you're gonna have a candle that has no bottom wick. Or what am I saying? You're gonna have a top wick, right? If you can just come down here in the 4 on the opening before coming up. If it rejects from here, we're not gonna use that pink zone here for wick entry sells. If it rejects from here, I think we still have 40.31. That's still the zone we're gonna use. So it's just like it really matters like where it rejects off of, rather than the zone itself. And that's how you adjust them for wick entry sells. I'd say what's your target, bro? I'm not in positions. I don't know. But if we do get the wick entries, wow, look at the spreads here, chat. Why are they so wide? Holy, this is a daily spread. This is a 40 pip spread. What the? 30 pip spread. Damn. Weekly like kind of fill getting filled now. Yo, chat, were your brokers like that too? What was that just now? Damn. Okay, it's back to normal now, but it's like I'm like, whoa, that was the daily. Now I was like, that looks like a massive spread. No? Damn. I'm not even in a trade, Blueberry. Why y'all doing that? Alright, so react off of this zone, right? Let's see, can it tap into, what do we want to see again? If it reacts off of this zone, what do I have? Oh yeah, like 41. Like these areas here. 49.38, no, not 38, that's like the 4 highs. I think it was 13. Those these areas here. 40.11, 4.13 if it rejects off of here. Yeah, let's see. It looks like it's rejecting off here right now. It's just, you know, the only thing that's missing now is a move up for 300 pips. But again, still this move coming down, chat, no pullbacks, right? So it's just one constant move. You have like some minor pullbacks here, but that's about it. Yeah, I don't have a target right now, but like we do have I guess we have a daily target, like a daily zone next. Like if we start breaking below like 39.65, then our next zone is 38.73, and that's just like, I think, I wouldn't say the target we've been repeating for 2 weeks, but more of like the level that needs to be tapped before price does anything else in terms of range, or go from a range cycle to a liquidity cycle to a drive cycle, right? It's just the next required area, because these are the middle of nowhere. So I wouldn't say it's targets because I'm not in the trade, but that has been our eye for the last like 2 weeks. So just looking to see if we can actually get this move over with. But yeah, it looks like it's coming down. So no trades yet, chat. No trades yet. But for opening up, decent. Okay, it's hot wick. Barely a top wick. It came down, tapped the zone here. Let's see the re-break of the highs. If you do re-break the 4 highs, is only 150 pips before you get that wick entry sell. So just be ready. And if we do get the wick entry sells, guys, we will be using I think 42.28, so around 2100, 2200 pips. So then 0.06 probably for me, 0.06 lot if we do get the wick entry sells. But yeah, I would like to get in on this move down. I don't have enough structure, so that will have to be missed. The only other option is the wick entry sells, right? Because I know you guys are probably wondering like, why am I not taking like breakouts? Because I don't have the structure for it. We're coming towards June's monthly low. There isn't much on the way under that, so if it breaks, could this be a big break on the high time frame range? Again, I think what I had for the last 2 weeks, like every morning's analysis was like, this is the range we're in. Maybe a little higher here. This is the range we're in, and you see how like in June, I think it was like around, yeah, June, July as well, like you came near it. You came near the bottom of the range many times, but you weren't able to complete that range fill. So there's still something missing here. Like remember that one drawdown trade that we're in on March 20th? March 20th, we're in a drawdown trade, and you guys were asking me like, why am I still in this trade? And I kept saying because this range hasn't been filled yet. So same thing goes for the daily areas that we have right now. Like that range there has not been filled yet. Like these rejections are to be considered the middle of nowhere, because again, to go from a market cycle to the next, you need to fill it. Like in order to range here, like completely range here between these areas up here and these areas here, you need to fill the ranges first. So that's what I mean by it's still missing. Once you actually fill the ranges, okay, now it actually has the freedom to do whatever it wants. Obviously it might not reject, it may reject, I don't know, but that's what's required to start ranging, right? If it continues to range, and if it doesn't, then you just kind of follow the trend, you break through, but you'll fill that range anyways. And if you were to reverse, you're not just gonna come up, like this. To reverse, you're likely gonna actually have to range first, and then once you range, you grab liquidity or something before going up, right? Just an example here. But like any move would require a range of that daily range fill, right? So that's the next. Like I don't know whether it's gonna lead to a higher time frame drive below 3,900 yet, because we actually haven't gone down there. Once we actually do get down there, we'll see like, okay, what's gonna happen? Is it gonna reject, right? Is it gonna completely push through? If it does, then amazing. We'll wait for pullbacks to occur like on a higher time frame, and then as it continues to break, then you can confirm that, okay, this is like a nice lower high, and then you can get continuation. But it can still be a reverse though. It can still be a start of a range, right? Because again, you're between these areas here. So like, like that's what I mean by like, this is the middle of nowhere, and that gap has not been filled yet. It's why I kept trying to repeat it the last 2 weeks, because it's missing, and that's why volume's lacking too. Right? Like whenever you have ranges, chat, like whenever you're in a range cycle, when you break out, let's say like you're kind of already, we're coming up here, right? When you break out, like you know, sometimes it could break out and then just continue up. But there are also a lot of times where price would grab liquidity before coming up. But either way, whether if it's a breakout or whether if it's a move down before going up, like it usually would break outside the ranges first. But you can't break outside of the ranges if you haven't filled the ranges. If you were like here, right? If you were here and let's say the resistance to the left is somewhere here, and then you got support zones like maybe here, like that has happened, but like you still have not tapped the top of the range yet. Can price reverse? It could do anything technically, right? But the chances of it doing so is a lot lower because this is actually the range. So once you actually start ranging, okay, now you range. If you were to actually reverse now, would it just come down like this? It could, but like usually you'll break out one end. You'll break out of it before, like, to grab liquidity or to create structure, right? But that's required. So, like, that's what I mean by, like, it's very important to understand that, because that's how market cycles work. Like, you need to do one thing before the other. Like, very rarely in this case here would prices come up like this, right? If it were, it would likely create some structure first, and then grab liquidity and all of that, right? Especially this is a higher time frame. This is a daily and 4. So what I'm trying to say is take it one thing at a time. You don't need to like predict like the next like you know, whatever months of what's happening, because we don't know how it's gonna get down there first. It's close though. It's definitely much closer now than before, right? But we gotta see how it comes down towards these areas first, and then that's gonna tell us more information on what's gonna happen. But look, you're rejecting the 4 here now, right? So the 4 cannot actually broke the lows. These are the 1 broke these lows down here. It could flip here. If it does flip, chat, remember 40.11 is what we got, right? And this could be the first pullback. It looks like so far it is. From where we are right now, it's not that severe yet. So if it does come down, then I would consider that to be the first pullback. But if it does pull up towards 40.11, then yeah, that's our wick entry sell zone. And then, like I said, it's going to be 2,200 pip stops. So we're looking at like 40. What do we use again? 4240, 4238, right? And that's our wick entry sell. However, it's unlikely to break 4360, 4300. I don't know. I mean, right now, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not broken yet, right? Like that's above there. It's a possibility though. Like that's structure. Remember, like you're also really bullish on overall time frame. Like, you know, in terms of like forever. Like you know, like this is the first higher low you have. So it can easily still come up for higher highs. Like I wouldn't count out buys ever on gold really, but are we gonna be worried about 4,300 today? I don't think so yet. You know what I mean? It's still pretty far. You need to start like breaking structure and then creating structure before we worry about that zone. And then how it comes up matters too. If it comes up like this, you're likely still expecting some pullbacks. But if it starts, let's say in some universe here, chat, it starts like, you know, breaking the lows here, then it starts shifting up and there's like massive pullbacks, like, yeah, I'll be pretty worried about 4,300. But to get there, you need things to happen first. You know, you're not just gonna magically come up, right? Let's see, chat. What do we have? 411? What do we have? 4093. Okay. So coming up here, this looks like the first pullback now. So I have 40. Yeah, I have like 44,009. If you even move it up towards or down towards. Right after this leg candle fill here. So how much we gotta go? Another 150. It could reject anywhere at the same time, right? It doesn't need to reject 4011. But that's like the next zone we have for the wick entry cells. So like 0.06 lot, I'm pretty sure. So put that there just in case. And it'll be market X at 4011 or 4009. Let's see, this is the first 15 closure. 15 close, is that a leg candle? No, it's this doji candle, but yeah, let's see if we can fill this range. We're right there, chat. Are you using 4? Yeah, 4. I use the 4 a lot. 4 and the 1 a lot. 5, 15 minute, all of it. 30 minute. All the way until the monthly. But today's trade, I think we're basing the 4. Like these are reactions looking at the 4. So whatever, like I just capture that image off of the vision of like what's happening is usually what I'll put down in the journal. So today I'll put, if we get a trade, I'll put the 4 hour time frame I use. And then the minute for entries, or probably the 5, I'll say the leg candle fill there. So I'll use the 4, the 5, like leg candle here we have going up. Yeah, that's it. If we were to get into that, I'll just put the 5 and the 4. So on the TBJ journal, I have like a section that like checks off like the time frames I use here, right? So time frame alignment. So yeah, if we were to get a trade today, you'll see me check off the 4 and the 5. The 5 because it's a leg candle on the 5. So our entry is right after that leg candle. Could be something as small as that. And the 4 is just the reaction areas. We had it being used as, we found this black zone here off of the 4, right? Just like support zones here. And then 4009 was off of these areas here. That's pretty much it. 15-second chart. No, I don't go below the minute. I don't have anything to go below the minute. Unless I get trading views 15-second chart, but I don't know. Not at least right now. Maybe in the future. Let's see. Let's see. What happens if a candle closes doji? I don't know. It can mean anything. Like usually I think like it's just a weak bullish candle. Like I think for me it's not really about how it closes all the time, like where it's closing. So if it's closing, let's say below here, which it is, at any given point this thing can just come down, right? So I think some people have patterns for dojis, like they call it like gravestone doji or like sunrise and sunset doji, something like that. I think so. Whatever patterns you got going on, you can base off of that. But I just look at the zones, like it kind of gives me an idea because it's a doji on the 15, but it's not a doji on the minute. On the minute, it's the first pullback after it moved down, right? So you're expecting a reaction somewhere. Hopefully we can come up here first for a reaction, and then someone can see that on the 15, be like, nah, it's a gravestone doji, right? This is how you look at it. But I don't look at patterns like that. I'm just looking at like price action, and that's what price action is telling me. This is the first pullback after this move down for the NY session, so you're expecting, you know, a higher low to occur. So that's why we want the wick entry sells. Yeah, it's also closing below here too, right? Below these areas. Yeah, this can get filled. But that's how it goes with candles. Like if you see a certain candle you like, you know, recognize or notice, like look to see how that candle looks on different time frames, because it'll tell you a lot of times where it's gonna go, where it's headed. Because it's not like you have a 4 leg candle and then every other candle is a leg candle too, like the minute, the 5. No, there's a 4 leg candle, but then if you like break down the candles in reverse, like, you know, how does a small time frame look? And then that tells you the structure that's printing for the last 4-hour candles. And you just combine the two, and boom, that's your analysis. You might have a 1 hour leg candle if you close the way it is. You still got 4 minutes. That's a lot of time, chat, but could also be something there. But yeah, we have right now 4,009,640 basically, or 4,009,780. But roughly here, be ready, you know. On the break of the highs, it's really only like 120 pips away, so it could be quick. How much is this rejection? 200. And chat, if we can't get the wick entry sells at 4,009 and from here it just decides to rip through like 49.76, that's fine. That would like maybe be the first lower highs, and there's a little bit more like better structure now coming down. But I still think we're gonna wait for below 49.46. I think the only exception for maybe taking sells below this zone right here is if you were to come up towards like 40.30 and then start shifting back below 39.75, and then below 39.75 you have this range on the daily, and that's what you can take. But I would need to see a pop up to here. I don't think here will be enough for that. It's better, it's definitely much better than just coming straight down, but in terms of structure, it can still, you know, re-break the highs and continue to come. Hopefully it does it when NY opens. Yeah, NY seen 7 too, and you have this much volume, so shit. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that this is not a short-lived NY session. I don't think it is today, just because of like how rapidly you move. I know yesterday kind of moved up, and when it moved up, there was potential because it was early yesterday too, right? I think the move up yesterday happened at what time? Wednesday around here, like 8:30. There was a decent move up. I think the difference was if you line it up with price action, it was going up, but it didn't really break anything. Today is actually breaking candles, lows, and etc. Right? And you have that daily idea still, that gap that hasn't been filled yet, or not gap, but that missing range that hasn't been filled yet, and you're coming down. I think today has printed much better information than yesterday. In terms of pips though, I think yesterday is still more, right? How much is yesterday's move? ADM yesterday was around like 300. Today, no, today's more. Let's see though, breaking the highest, chat. Can we get a 4,009? Get ready here, okay? Could be quick. Spreads are a little wide on the way up too, so that's very good. That means if we get in, spreads can get tightened up, and on the way down could be the actual direction still. Remember, this is the first pullback, so very key. Understand that you don't want to get in wick entry sells when it's a second pullback, right? So like if price were to come up here, let's say here, and then it pulls back without giving us the entry at 4,009, and then comes back up, that's no longer the first initial reaction. That's the second. You have this already. So you want to see us come straight up towards 4,009. That's my zone. Obviously, we might not be accurate with the zone, right? It could reject before that zone, and that's okay. But that is the zone that I have based off of like the 4 hour time frame. If it rejects beforehand, so be it, let it reject, right? We'll look for more ideas later on anyways. But if this comes straight up exactly as we anticipated, amazing. There is your trade. So yeah, wick entries could sometimes be frustrating, especially when you're near it. Like there are a lot of times where we're like 10 pips away, 20 pips away, we miss it. right? That's fine. You don't want to chase it though. That's what I'm trying to say. But just understand the idea, you know? The idea that it's a first initial reaction. Let's see. Can it break 4,000 again? What's up, the week? Like that zone. Yeah, I had a 4015 as well, 4014 earlier, but I moved it down to 4009. If there's like a slight pullback, I'll move it back to that 4015, 4014 zone. But yeah, 4014 is a bad zone as well. Clean. That's like the no top wick area right here, right? Let's see. That candle fill in the 5 right here, so that can fill will be right there. Might get the body reaction though, that's the thing. If you get a body reaction and you fill it, chat, then we'll move it up towards 4015. Because there's a leg candle here, right? So if it's a leg candle, you usually get a body reaction. And if that is a pullback, slight one, then we'll use the next zone. But yeah, those small pullbacks are okay. It's just like the major ones, like, you know, if it's like something that breaks structure, then, you know, it might be GG's. All right, coming near 60 pips away. Let's see. Could it be? Well, lot 0.06 lot. It stops around 2,200. Actually, no, 2,200 should be a 0.05 lot. Let's go 0.05 lot. All right, 2,200. Yeah, because 2,000 would be like, well, with the account increase lately, it's been, I think, 0.06, 2,000 pips usually. And then like 1,900 is like 1,800 is like 0.07 usually. And then 1,600, you know, 1,500 is like 0.08, 0.09. And then it just increases every like 200 pips, every 150 pips. Do you think your strat is good for prop firms? I don't think my strategy is built on personals, so I didn't use this. I didn't build the strategy using a prop firm. So yeah, no, I don't think so. I think it's possible, but I think it's doable. There's people who have done it, but I think it's also like a lot of times on a funded, you're trying to get funded quick, unless you can accept the fact that it might take you like 6 months to get funded or whatever your risk is. Obviously, also depends if you use small risk and there's no drawdown, right? So there's a little bit of that happening, but I always account for drawdown and all of that during my trades. But yeah, if you're risking 5% max, you know, like we're risking like 15%, 20% per trade, and we get average of like 8 to 10% lately a month. So if you're risking maybe like a quarter of what I'm risking, it's gonna take maybe 4 months, 5 months to get to that 10% mark. I'm guessing the 10% is just like a phase 1 or phase 2, right? Whatever it is. So I think it does work for sure, because it's still the same trading, but you know, to expedite it, your stops are gonna have to be much smaller, so you're gonna have to start sacrificing or using a different strategy for a stop loss. So you can use my same TP strategy and your stop loss strategy. You can combine it. Lots of variations to it. I think it's possible if you adjust and adapt. But I built the strategy around a personal. All right, chat, we're near. Let's see, one more push, man. That's all. We get it. 0.05 lot, remember. All right, chat, and almost there. All right, chat. Wick entry sells right there. Another sell, by the way, too. But yeah, wick entry sells. Where are my trades? Trade levels. There it is. So yeah, BE zones. I think what we use is like the flip. This flip will be BE zones. And then what we'll do for trail stops is maybe these areas down here for trail. So this is now risk-free. Risk-free trade. This zone right here, if you break that, will be Trail stops and profit. All right, so trail stops and profit. I think our TP will attempt. I didn't get one TP, but maybe like down here. I don't know if this will be a TP trade, but we'll attempt something. Next zone is going to be cleaner traffic, right? So there's a gap, 4,002. That's our next trail stop zone. But yeah, trail stops and profit. When we tap that next white line, if we tap it, we'll move it down towards 4,004, okay? And we just keep doing that. Uh-oh, we survived it. Let's see, spreads are massive. Holy. But yeah, you're risk-free now, so you just, you know, let price do what it wants to do. That count on the minute there, though. Sorry, chat. The blue zone might be blinding, but yeah, that's it. That's a trade. First initial reactions, nothing crazy. Like, I think spreads are a little wide there, so I didn't think we can get really runners, but we secured. What do we get there? No drawdown too, right? We got 25 pips there. Pretty good. Pretty good. We did 26.3 pips there total. So I sent the signal right to the channel when I executed at 9:30 NYC open. Wow, right on time. 1 minute and 21 second trade. We did 26.3 pips. And in terms of money and percentages, what is that? 13.15 is gonna be WD chat, 0.45%. So not bad. It's 0.65 set the week off. WD chat. Let me know what you guys got today, percentage wise. Let me know. No drawdown trade too. So you know, nothing crazy. A pretty chill trade. I think 4,000 to 4,000. I kind of fucked up because I didn't really have a TP set ahead of time. But I'm assuming, you know, I think I had some down here when I set it. That's a leg candle on the 30. But yeah, that was a trade. There's trail stops, and BE zones. You want to have that set always. You're still in. Damn. You hit 100 pips. You hit 100 pips on this? How? Got 40 pips chilling. Very nice. So yeah, chat, I think if we were to get another trade, obviously it won't be the same wick entry sell zone. I don't know if it will even be wick entry. It could even be a continuation of the move too. You can get continuation. So let's see. I think I'm gonna journal first and I'll come back and see what's up, right? But there is a leg candle here on the 30th, which is pretty nice. Maybe we can be part of that. But I gotta get to journaling. I think next trades will likely be continuations if we do get another one today. It's still early, right? So still lots of time. All right, chat, but that was that. Quick, simple, planned it, broke it down. The levels marked up live. I found these levels live today. I made an adjustment from 415 or 4,014 down to 4,009 on stream, right? There was a time when I was like, hey, there's something here, guys. Could be a reaction. Like, everything was just broken down, like step by step. And the most important part is the waiting part, right? The part where there was a move down earlier and we didn't FOMO, right? We said, okay, I had to miss the move because there's not enough structure. Then the only other option I have is that if you do get a pullback, we can get a wick entry sell, right? Which is just first initial reactions to retest the lows again or whatever, right? And that was what we got, right? So I think that's the important part. As long as you understood that concept, even if you didn't get the exact trade, W day. But yeah, let me journal this out, guys, and then we'll come back and maybe we can get a position. Still no runners for the month, but it's okay. Eventually they'll come, right? 2026. 9:30, New York, gold, bearish buys, another sell again, once again. So we haven't taken a buy, chat, since April 29th. It's been like May, June, July. It's been almost 3 months since we've taken like a buy. Liquidity on the 1, right? Wick entries, 4-hour stops. That's the strategy. 1 hour TP, or hold on, what was TP? What did I move TP to earlier? That's the only thing I didn't have in mind, but BE and trail stops, we did have. TP had 91. Yeah, so yeah, leg candle body reaction on a 30, right? So I'm just gonna put 30. I think when I found it, I used the 5. I'll put the 5. Next large form resistance. BEs, yes, we did. We took it on manage on the minute. So here, this is time frame alignment. Remember earlier, chat, if I get in, I'm using the 5-minute time frame and the 4-hour time frame, right? So those two things are checked off here. That's what we used here. 5-minute was a leg candle fill, and the 4-hour candle was just the overall zone. So that's what I'll check off as like the time frames that I use to align the trade. And then it was liquidity, because you're looking for the first initial reaction, right? So any move up could be liquidity come down. Time frame, we took that off of the 4-hour time frame. And then it was a win, 0.05 lot. We made 13.15. And then pips wise, it was 26.3. 26.3. And max drawdown was none, right? I don't think there was any drawdown there. I think that was like straight blues. The last trade was 220 pips drawdown. Max pips here, I think we got peaked at 52, right? 52, and then it pulled back. Yeah, 52 I'll put. And then trail stop loss hit on a minute. Trail stop loss. And then it was 26.30. So not bad. Not bad. 0.45% on that trade. And then this journal. And we'll be right back on the chart, guys. We'll be right back. $9.30 trade, New York. Why do I have NYSE? Gold sells, liquidity, wick entry sells on the 4 full, 26.3, and then 0.45% account gain. So not bad. I think for the month we are sitting at 1.45%. So, you know, a little slow, but still got half the month to go, and things are just only picking up today, really. So let's see. It could be a crazy ending to the month, chat. All right. So yeah, let's see what else. What else we got here. So let me just remove this blue box here. I know this thing is bright. And then a bunch of these zones were removed too. We don't need any more, right? Because these are just like first initial reaction zones. So if it were to break again, don't matter. It's gonna break through. The leg candle fill is happening right now. Okay, so yeah, let's see what happens. We have a reaction off of these areas, but now if that breaks, no need to have anything there really anymore. 4015, we delete that too. We don't need that anymore. 4031, that could still be a zone, but since you're pulling back already, it could be a little higher. Maybe 4040 and 4060 I can have still. Those could be wick entry sell zones. Wow, we got a trade here in the past too, chat, kinda. Some trades here in the past, right? Oh yeah. So yeah, I think this leg candle is not bad. This leg candle is not bad at all. Did we get a body reaction already? Yeah, we did, right? Kinda. Yeah, I think I'll get a little steeper than that. I don't think we can get this though if it starts filling here, right, chat? Unless it pulls back. If this pulls back and then re-breaks the lows, yeah, I'll look for the leg candle. But I need this body reaction to happen on a 30. There's 80 pips left in that 30-minute leg candle fill. Yeah, I think pull back, you can get a leg candle. If not, if it pulls back and it comes all the way up here, we'll look for wick entry sells up at like 4040 or 4062. Those are my two areas next. And then continuation sells. If we can't get in on the leg candles, then this range could still be doable. I think it's just structure, really. Let me just see where that would need to be then. If we get top wicks, what do we need for top wicks, right? So let's go delete all of this. What'd you get? You got this over here. 40.35, 40.40. That's what I had on MT5. Honestly, chat, I think, yeah, I say just structure. Like, I don't know if I can get this range here, the remaining of this, until the bottom of the range at 49.50, until we actually get some structure. So again, like the 30-minute leg count could play a huge role because you haven't gotten that body reaction yet. You got a little reaction here on that bullish candle right there, but nothing crazy. So if we do flip again on the 30, let's say flip bullish again, and for some reason it doesn't drive up, or it does drive up, but then it comes back down, then the re-break of that 30-minute low could be nice, and you can take advantage of that push. That's an 8-pip range, so we can look to attempt that. Because you still got a little bit left, but again, I'm gonna need to see this pull back. There's no guarantee of that, so if it doesn't, then we'll miss this range. And then below 49.46, we're looking for more sells, right? 49.46 is below that daily range right here, so below here could be sells as well, right? But you need some structure obviously below there. So either we get like some structure here before coming down, we can get the sell, or if we just continue down from here, we'll get structure below 49.47, and then below there we have more range. And then finally daily zones at 3800, right? So I think that's my next ideas, chat, if I'm looking for more trades today, or I am looking for more trades today, but that's what I'll wait for next. Anything other than that, no, I don't got any buys or anything like that right now. But yeah, chat, that is pretty much it. Let me just put the trades taken. Gold sales plus 0.45%, and then 26.3 pips. So I don't have any skin in the game yet. I'm curious, did you sell at the other drop before this one? What do you mean? No, I like what I meant by like we took sells on these ones or same zones is that usually we have the same zones because they're just form resistance areas. So I would notice that my trades happen to be in the same areas without trying to force it in these areas. They usually are though. Like even looking at like any of these other trades here, like we had quite a bit of trades in these areas, like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Like you go on like the daily and you look left again, like they're usually like within the same areas, but that's mainly because it all shares the same form resistance zones. And that's if that's all we do, right? Look for support resistance, then a lot of times they're gonna align, but it's nothing like crazy. Just something that I've noticed. Let's see. Let's see, can this pull back? Can this pull back? What lot size? That one was 0.05, so stops were like 2200. If they were below 2000, I would have used a 0.07 lot. If they were like 2100, maybe 0.06, but 0.05 for that. There was no drawdown, so the RR was like straight positive there, right? But yeah, we gotta account for the drawdown at least, right? And the stops. But yeah, as I was saying about funded before we got into a trade, like you could pass the funded. It just depends on your drawdown limit, because that's the rule that's like an unwritten rule on how to become profitable. You know, like these funded companies, when you write these rules on how to become profitable before you get funded with simulated funds, that's one of the rules. So there's a little bit of luck that's required on that funded too, right? If you were to use this strategy, which is like one, it's either you really scale down your lots to the same ratio as mine on a funded, which would take you like maybe 4 months to pass the funded, and that's fine if you're okay with that. But if you want to expedite that process, then you're gonna have to sacrifice your stops. You're gonna have to use a much more aggressive stop compared to mine, and at that point you're not really copying my trade no more. You're just kind of copying the idea but using a different stop. So the luck is like you need to go below that 5%, right? If you're risking like your normal risk, like you need to go below 4% or 5% before you hit your daily limit, basically. So it's doable, but you would just need no drawdown trades, which today you did get, but not every trade is like no drawdown. Yeah, 30 left, we can still get it. We can still get it, but it's gonna be, you know, I need a flip here. That'd be nice though. The rebreak of like 48, 49, 81 could be something for a later chat if it does flip here on the 30. Did these things copy over? True. Yeah, there's people who trade fund as my strat, but again, the only thing is it's gonna take a little bit longer. That's about it. But it's just the same. It's the same trading, right? Like it's the same trades. It's just you're gonna have to adjust like your lots and all of that for sure, or use a different stop. Lucid and NSCFD firm's best strat. Yeah. I don't know. I've never traded funded chat, so bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, basically what Eddie said. Like you just adapt to a different stop. So like that's the luck part of it. Cause like the trade is if you're copying my exact trade, like you obviously want to copy the exact stop. Otherwise it's like you could adjust on your own, but then that's just your trade after that, right? Like that's no longer my trade. That's your trade because we're accounting for the drawdown of like where structure breaks, etc. So yeah, if you're gonna adapt to it, you can do that. That's the part where I was saying earlier, like that's like the luck part. Like you need a little bit of luck, but not much, you know. Like how often do you go and 4 into a drawdown anyways? Really, it's like it happens, maybe it happens, but how often? You know, if you look at our previous drawdown, like in the last I don't know, like 30 trades, we've gone to 4 into a drawdown maybe once. You know, and the rest were just kind of good still. So you would have hit stops once if you would have used a different stop loss, like a 4-inch stop. So yeah, it's not bad. July woke up though. It looks like we got some nice volume for July now. Look, I think we have a leg candle body reaction now, chat, right? So this is the reaction, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Can it come up to break the highs? Yeah, no, that happened, but I wouldn't really count that as me trying to fund it. I think that was just like, I wouldn't say for fun, but I was just like me testing out a funded. And also like on that funded, it wasn't even like a phase 1, phase 2, it was just accelerated funded. But yeah, I got my payout, and then I didn't get my payout, but the funded company kind of just, you know, called it a day and never paid me out. Or no, I think eventually they did send out like some contracts to like pay out, but I think I missed my date for that. But yeah, I wouldn't really count that as like a funded experience. And that was like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. But that's the thing about funded too, right? It's like they like you want to get enough withdrawals, they just can't ban you, right? But because I thought like the idea of the funded was like they when you eat, they eat, which is like what I think it originally was. But then eventually over time, all the funders just kind of said, "Fuck it, let's just put simulated funds in all of our." I think they started cracking down on the funded, so then they just had to say like these are some simulated funds because that's what they were. So, because I thought like when you get a payout, they're also getting paid too because you're making money for them, but it's not the case. They're just making money off of just straight challenges. Like if you buy the challenges, that's how they're making the money. Otherwise, it's just too much risk for them to take, right? It's like they're gonna give everybody 150k a trade once you pass 150k funded. They're not gonna do that, right? Because you never know. Like you think like a month, 2 weeks of like a test is enough for them to give you 150k. So it's like, you know what I mean? That's just how it works though. That's the game of it. That's the game, right? So eventually, like I think there's traders who just get banned from so many fundeds because you got so many payouts. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not against funded. Like I might be doing funded from a different perspective too. Like, you know, you build your portfolio for 10 years, you can literally work in any hedge. So it's like, you know, I'm also doing a fund challenge. If I build my portfolio for 10 years plus on one account or something. Because that's what a funded is, right? Like a funded is you actually have like the idea of a funded. You know, short portfolio on a funded account, it's like 10%. And once you get 10%, you have people giving you the company's giving you money. It's the same thing when you work in any type of hedge or anything. It's just that instead of a 2-week timestamp or like whatever long it took you to pass the 10%, it's now like, you know, a 10-year or 20-year or 15-year, whatever it is. But that's a skill that you can't really lose once you have it. I think prop firms are a way to learn how to trade without blowing thousands. If you put 0.4 contract on 5K, you can play a strat and build confidence over time. Yeah, true. I'm not going to say it's not true. But at the same time, it's just habits that you learn off the bat. That's just like a complete waste of time when you do trade live. You know what I mean? It's like, I can't go over a certain amount of draw. It's just rules that like, you're not really as free as you are. But again, there's pros and cons to a funded, right? Like the pros is you get funded. So it's good to get capital. That's the pros. But there's got to be a con to the pro. That's just how it goes. The other shitty part of it though is that at any given point, it can just kind of put a plug on you. Like, hey man, you know, you're getting paid out. Or we don't want to pay you out here. You know, it looks like you went over... it looks like you traded news, man. Get out. You know, you traded news. You're not profitable no more. Think about it for a second. You're not profitable because you traded news. You're not profitable because you held onto a trade less than a minute. So all of a sudden now they're forcing you to like, basically what they're trying to say is for you to be profitable, you need to be holding trades longer than a minute, right? But again, that's just the rules for to get funded. There's gotta be pros and cons, but it's like and then, you know, you got people making like psychology videos on like how to pass a funded, and that's fine. But then it's also like people making these rules up or like mixing them with like general rules on how to trade. It's like you gotta hold a trade longer than a minute. It's like that's only a funded rule. That's not really like a overall rule, you know. On a live account, you're free to do whatever. But again, adapt. If you are trading funded, adapt. That's fine. Adapt and then, you know, go into a live. And you're gonna feel a lot more free in a live once you actually have the funds. Pencil, that FTMO BE yet on phase 2? Since we're on daily support, are we interested in buys? No. No, I am interested in buys, but not here. Not until you break above 4,200. I need to see an actual rejection because this support could also be broken as well, right? You can also just rip right through. So, yeah, I'm gonna need that to kind of hold. Frequent actions build habits when funded. I feel like emotion coming from risking significant compared to personnel. Yeah, it's just a little different. It's a little different. Thirty-minute leg candle. Hello? It's on this camera. But also, like, it's like they say props are like a good way to build capital, right? And like for newer traders, it might be like better go unfunded, but then it's like, why do you need to start with big capital when you first learn how to trade? Like, why can't you just like, because that's what they want you. This is how they tell you. It's like your mind just tells you like, oh, I need money fast, right? So then you think about funded, but it's like, who said you need to start off your journey as a trader with thousands of dollars? Why don't you start with $100 or like something that you could afford to lose? And then once you build that skill, go to a funded instead of like learning that on a funded, because then you're kind of going backwards. It's like, why would you want to learn all these like restrictions and rules when you haven't been consistent yet? Why would you even want to test yourself when you're not even consistent yet? Right? So it's like start with a live account, like $100 or something. And then, you know, see if you can last a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is. Like, and then eventually, you know, you gain that consistency for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, and then go fund it, try fund it out, and then adapt to the rules. But no one said you need to go and you don't need capital to learn how to trade, chat. Like if you don't got it at $100, you're not gonna have it at 150K. I promise you that. Or no, I don't promise you that, but it's gonna be difficult. Like if you can't do it at $100, you're not gonna be able to do it at 100K. Like I don't know why everyone believes like the more capital you have, the better, easier it is to trade. It's not easier to trade. It's the same skill set. You're still gotta wait for the counter to close. You still need liquidity. If anything, it's harder because now it's just pressure of money. So it's like it's easier to kind of build your way up there, you know? Build your way from $100 to 200 to 3 to 5 to 1,000 to 2,000. Like slowly, gradually get up there. But going from 0 to 100, bro, you're missing a lot of steps, a lot of like psychological like things that, you know, you haven't adapted to yet. But you don't need to start big. Like, I don't know. I think a lot of people also have like a lot of people, I understand this part, but they try to get into trading and they're trying to make, you know, money quick so they could, you know, get out of their current situation. But if you're chasing a situation in life and you're trying to get, like, you're trying to do that with trading, it's nothing different from gambling. Like, you might as well hit the casino and just, like, you know, test your luck out there on, like, roulette table or something, you know what I mean? It's like, if you're trying to get out of a current situation by trading out of it, it's going to be a lot more difficult than when you're actually free as a trader to do whatever you want. So if you actually want to trade, like learn a skill set, like it's better to just take things slow and just, you know, learn as you go. There's no rush to it though. You watched England Argentina last night? Yeah, I watched it. I missed the second goal because my fucking thing shut off. But that first goal I saw, like the Argentina's first goal. Oh damn, you're right there. You're like 1%. Okay. You're right there. But chat, I'm not, you know, fundeds, they're the future of trading. Like that's just how it's gonna go. It's the future. It's just like, it's like the same way they have like fucking Klarna. Funded account is nothing different from Klarna. It's like, you know, it's like trade credit, really. That's all that it is. So it's the future. But you will have to adapt. Klarna. You think you eventually switch to funded? Unless there's like better funds that come out over time, I would never say no. Like, I'm open to funded. It's just I don't think I've seen a funded out there that's like. I think they'll get better with time. I think they'll get better with time, and there'll be a time where they'll get to a point where. I mean, we'll see if one comes out over time, and it's nice. And there's certain things like they actually give you like they actually want to make money because you're actually winning. Sure, I don't see why not. I'm open to that. I would never say no to like any ideas. I'm always open. Just right now with the funders that we have, it's like I think there could be better ones. You must get asked about props 20 times a day. Yeah, I've been getting asked about props for like 5 years now. So my take on it has been always the same. Funded. But it's the future, you know? Like every like new gen trader now, if they get into trading, bro, they're gonna go to a funded majority. So it's just how it goes. Even like for sports betting too, there's funded sports betting now too, right? It's just, again, it's the future of how things are gonna be. So that's why I think they'll get better over time. This is your funded? Hey man, 5% target goal. This is your phase 1. Nice. Lower highs? Nah, it's gonna break structure, right? It's gonna break structure, man. Something like this. Messi or CR7? I don't know, man. Messi wins his World Cup. There's no more debate. I'm not gonna lie. I can't even debate that. Hey, you might get it here, chat. Still, we can still get a wick entry, so that doesn't require much because the continuation below 49.73 is gonna require a 390 pip move down, you know. But if this decides to rip up towards like 40.40, 40.39, we can get a wick entry sell. Depends on if there's structure going up or not. But if it's a straight move up, then yeah, around those areas could be a wick entry sell. 40.41, then 40.62. And then after 40.62 becomes 41.37. So back to the daily flip. So daily flip, you know, it's going to be a little difficult there. But if this comes up like this and then shifts back, then this is our sell. What time is it? 10? So we still got a little bit of time. 1 hour close, bearish, right? Doji week, bearish. So yeah, still below the range. Nothing significant about that 1 hour candle. Now it's just whether we can get enough structure. If you can fill this wick up, break the highs, that'd be nice. That would be nice. Chat, if you guys are enjoying the streams, man, hit the like button. Sub to the channel. We're almost at 26,000. 26,000. What did we peak today? 425. Nice. 8 likes. And we can get another trade still. Still a lot of time today. We had an early one today. Just, you know, need some continuation of volume. How much was this drop today? 700, 600? Not bad. Let's update this trades thing too. So that is 500. That was our 67 trade of the year, chat. W67 trade. 67 trade. 1, 2, 3. 87.50%. And then pips wise is 7660.24. That. What's the zone you're looking at, Don? I'm looking at this zone. This is my overall zone. I'm looking for just something to confirm that we're not going to reject here. So I needed to reject. I needed to break the highs, and then if it does break the highs and it comes back down below the 30-minute leg candle lows down here, we'll look for a continuation of sells. But yeah, that's the next idea. But I need to push up first to confirm that. So not bad though. It's like 170 pips up and then a move down for like maybe 270, and then below here you have like an 8-pip range. Or if it just rips through, that's fine as well. We'll look for more sells below 49, 46. Anyways, yo, what is wrong with this camera today, huh? We're getting trades. Good sign. It was good for like 3 weeks. Natural gas storages. Is that what's today? Yeah. Yeah. Is it me or compound percentage on a TBJ on third row? And down does not work. Compound? Oh, I think, yo, you gotta go put 0. I think you gotta put 0 or your balance. I forgot what it was. You gotta put starting balance here. I think that's what it's based off of. Yeah, you put starting balance here and then I think you gotta put 0 here or something. I forgot how you start it. But once you start that, I think it generates on its own. You said third row and down. Here? Like you don't put deposit here. I think you put deposit here. And then whenever you deposit, withdraw. Oh shit, I forgot to put the withdrawals on this journal. When did I withdraw on this account? 630, 6130. Right, 6130. Before that was 61, 6918. Five. 40.14. 40.14 and then 4.1. $60.89. And then 227. Cool. From the Discord. Let's see. Where's my journal again? How do I get the template? Is it expert TBJ? Yeah, so this is the template. This I think you just put whatever here. So I forgot. Let's see. This is a template, and then let's say you make $10. Oh yeah, file, make a copy first. Just do that. File, make a copy. And yeah, once you file, make a copy, you go to template, and then let's say you make $10 today, and shouldn't that just be it? Boom. Oh, it shows this, right? Hold on. How did I fix this last time? I think this is the problem, right? Oh, I know why. Because I think this is not formatted right. Go on number and then go to number. No. accounting. How the fuck did I do this? Format, number, currency? No, that can't be it. Maybe? Let's see. 0. I mean 0. How do I do this? Oh, I think this is the issue. Maybe put 0 there and then go here and drag down. And yeah, it should be fixed now. So now if you enter 10, does it work now? 20? Yeah, there you go. Wait, what? Is that it? Oh, you gotta, I think you gotta drag this down. Let's see, let's try again. Template, 0. Let's say you want to go to, you make $10 for, or that much, and the next day you made 34. I think you gotta drag this down. Just select it and then drag it down, and then it should just pop up. Was that it today? Is that gonna be it? I think let's see, it's breaking the highs. I'll be here for another 10 minutes, chat, and then if that is all, then we'll call it and then we'll move on to tomorrow. But I think we're still waiting for that one play. The leg candle fill in 30 hasn't been filled yet. Still a possibility of that. You're breaking the highs right now, so there's a little bit of hope that you still got some volume if you can break that. But if it just sits around for another like 10 or 5 minutes here, I'm just gonna call it. Okay. You want to break out this in at least 10 minutes for some volume. Natural gas in 10. Should we stay for natural gas? Worst case will be inside Divis 01. We have yet to get an Asian session trade yet, but Asian session also hasn't really been clicking like that. $5. $5. $5 and I'll give it to you. Damn. Your USD, $5. So you'll send $5. $5, no tax for you. Here you go, man. Boom, boom, boom. Just screenshot it. Hey. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do do. Do 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 do. Yo, $2.99. W299. Let's see who's still in here. Let's see who the lucky 5 in here. Five gifted to the chat. Sheesh. Look, one guy won. His name is one lucky motherfucker. Bobster. W5. 5 no ads for you. What are you gifting? I'm gifting free 5 subscriptions, or 5 memberships to the channel, so you get no ads for a month. For real. W5. No more, I'll do my breakfast. The market's not gonna wait for you to eat your breakfast. Yeah, I'll always be ready. Lesson learned, never eat breakfast. Yo, $5. Noob. Thank you, man. Thank you, James. $2.99, $5. Sheesh. Hey, is there a 6-7 one? I think there's a 6-7 one as well. It pops in the chat. I don't know. I saw it on Kai's stuff. It was like, it said 6-7. I was like, damn, I want 6-7. 29 likes. Wait, really? No way. No way. We at 94. Almost at 100, guys. 6 more. Yo, we're about to break the highs too, guys. So let's see. Maybe we can get another trade today. There's still some life left, right? We broke outside the blue range, so we don't need this no more. If you can break these highs and then shift back below the leg candle below here, that's our leg candle fill, and that's our sell. So we could get a position. All we need now is to move down, because this is the leg candle body reaction, right? So it could be a double trade day for those who are patient. Cancel you an aura deck. Get me 50 pips to restore equilibrium. Equilibrium. You need to get some. Spencer, you need to get funded aura. That's what you need. You need to pass a funded aura challenge. Just logged in. Can you explain why you took sells there? Just wick entry sells after this move that came down. I've noticed that it had no reaction or no pullbacks on the way down. It's one constant drive. So the first pullback, I was looking for wick entry sells, because if price were to reverse, it's very rare to reverse without structure. So all you gotta do is find like a minor zone after the first pullback, and then you're looking for a higher low, and it could be a higher low to go up, or it could be a higher low to retest the lows and drive down. But that was the first initial move up, so that was the idea. And then we just found a zone off of the 4-hour time frame. I just looked left, and I think I found it around like 8 something today, 820, 830, something like that. And then we add that 4009 level, and then that was the zone we had for wick entry sells, and that was it. And then now the next position that we are looking for is just continuation sells. So you have a leg candle right here on this bullish leg candle. So you got the body reaction already. So now all you need to do is re-break the lows again. So that's going to be below 39.80. So if you can come down there 170 pips, re-break that low below here, just the rest of the fill, we can look for positions, and it's a 80 pip range. So it's pretty nice. Pretty nice. But I gotta wait for that to come down first. Otherwise, again, this could be right here, a higher low to go up. It's a possibility. So that's why I want to see it break the lows again, and then hold, and then we got sells. And that's pretty much it. We need a year more. Funded aura. I don't know. Let's see though. There's a 5% day limit. Done for a day. See ya, man. See ya. It's a vibe, yeah. Can still enter. I don't have anything right now until that next idea there. So, and you still enter. You can always enter, but whatever like playbook you got going on, right? Just follow that playbook of yours. But if you're asking about my positions, that position is over with. We're looking for the next idea now, which is below, which is a continuation idea. The wick entry sell idea is over with unless you come up above like 40-60. That's the next wick entry sell idea. That's pretty far. You're gonna need to move up 600 pips. What is a leg candle? I was talking about a leg candle. This is a leg candle right here. That bullish one right there. No top wick. Wick is bigger than the body. So you're looking for that wick fill. But it's not just the wick fill we're looking at. Like we're not just gonna look at it and be like, let's get sell. It's like we want the actual formation to form. So when you have a leg candle, usually let's say this is a bullish one. If you were to fill it, you like obviously you'll come down and fill it like this, right? But on a small time from what you want to see is you want to see open up, come down towards the body area, react off of it. Once you get the rejection, you know, it can be whatever. It might not even come down right away. It's like gaps, you know, gaps don't always happen immediately. But if it does come down right away or come down after the first initial reaction, pull back and hold that zone, you're looking for the re-break. So we already got that body reaction on the 30, right? That reaction was right around that reaction. This is a leg candle. So that reaction is right here. It came down a lot further, right? But this is the reaction. So see how you're coming up now? This is this part of it. So it doesn't need to break the highs, but just the reaction. And then, so now all you need to do is re-break that low right here. And then small pullback and then continuation. And then that's our sell next. So that's our next idea, that wick fill. What up, Daniel? Daniel Hotto. You change it to Daniel Hotto. H-O-D-O. Can the sell be a fake out up there at resistance? I don't know if it's gonna be a fake out, but to start a fake out, you need a reaction. You need a pullback, you need some structure. So there's a high chance you could react. But will it lead to a fake out? You won't know until it breaks back into the range. But the reaction is there, yeah. But this resistance, what are you talking about? The 60 resistance, the 137 resistance? I think overall, like, you know, this cycle is still the same. It's still continuation down pullback, continuation down pullback. It's nothing crazy that has changed today. You had a nice early move, but I don't think it's anything crazy. It's still in the same cycle where it drives and pulls back, drives and pull back. It's not like it's driving consistently. So I think that's the issue as well with volume. You still don't have that there yet. But yeah, as long as this does not break, this technically can still be higher lows too. So this can still correct and move back up at any given point if it doesn't break these lows here. Not saying that's what's going to happen, but it is a possibility. It is open. Price could do that. At the same time, we can also just break the lows and drive down anyways. You can also just continue down as well. Right? But you don't want to play the guessing game of like what's going to happen. Like, is it going to be a fake out? Is it going to be that? Like, you want to like trade in the moment. Like, what's happening in the moment. Right? Sometimes it's better to just trade in the moment rather than like trading too far ahead. Because you're going to miss a lot of detail if you try to trade too far ahead. The 15. You're talking about this right here. It could be a fake if it breaks above. Yeah, like it can break the highs and then come back to the range, and that could be a fake out. Yeah. That could be a fake out. That could be a fake out for sure. But I think I'll still wait for the below here. Take this out. I'll wait for that fake out to play through, and then if it manages to break back into the range below here, that's my idea, because that's the leg candle. And we haven't had a leg candle in a while, like a position. I think our positions lately, chat, in July have been all wick entries, right? Like, look at this. Literally the same plays throughout July. Liquidity, wick, liquidity, wick, liquidity, wick. And if you look at July, why has it been these plays? Because we need liquidity for volume, right? July has been just kind of like, July for the most part has just been this. So just straight up wick entry sells. The last time I had a leg candle move was, the leg candle, you need the price to be a bit more directional, right? But the last time I had a leg candle was maybe like June 17. So we haven't had that in a while. Yeah, weekly has not even been filled yet too. So that's still there. Yeah, still in that swing, right? That swing trade. Oh, messy? No, what photo you sent? Oh, in the deviant overseas server. No, I didn't see what you sent. Where'd you send that? Oh, that's messy. All right, bro. Wait, that's for real? Wait, that's a real photo? This is a real photo? That's crazy. Why was he holding Yamin Yamal? I lie. Let's go recreate this. Now we're in the Robins Cup finals. Hey, Wogman. Bro, you said natural gas storage is gonna come out and move. Hype. Where you live, bro? The Milky Way. Let's see. This volume was kind of not picking up yet, but it did break the highs, you know, constant cycles here too. Same move up, pull back, move up, pull back, move up, pull back. So you need a pull back to kind of break that cycle. America. I live in Canada. Bro, do you see real bear in Canada? I have never seen a bear, no. I've seen the bald eagle in Canada. That's kind of crazy. There's only like 2 of them. I've seen 1 of them. But a bear. I've seen coyotes. That's pretty common. A bear, never seen, bro. You gotta be in like the woods, you know? You gotta be in the forest. Cocaine bears. You watch that movie, Cocaine Bears? That movie is crazy. That movie is based on a true cocaine bear, cracked up bear. Damn. Imagine a cracked up cocaine bear running right at you. What would you do? You seen the movie Cocaine Bear? Don is so Canadian, I have not heard him curse on a live stream once. Yeah, I gotta keep it PG, you know? Gotta keep it family friendly. This is a family friendly stream. Family friendly. So RJ Voso. $5 to hear him curse. Yo, you watch me play iRacing? Chat, I'm returned. I think I'm returning to iRacing very soon. Very soon. And if I do iRacing this time, you guys will see. Cause I'll be on stream this time if I do iRacing. Last year I was doing iRacing off stream, but this year, like that game actually gets me mad. So, but you guys will see the grind. The grind. The discipline. That game requires like more discipline than trading, I feel like. This is like nothing compared to that game. Next level of discipline in that game. Another day, another slave, bro. Get out! Get out! What is your trading strategy? Support and resistance, market structure, and candle reading. Natural candle reading, you know? Natural support and resistance. It's all GMO friendly, man. Organic price action, GMO. None of that extra spraying stuff in my strategy. None of the extra, you know, just straight up organic. Straight up, bruh. Organic. So whatever you see on my screen is all I really use. Organic. Straight up. Hey, 100 likes. Thank you, guys. W. Some guy commented on your playbook vid that price action is for amateurs. Hey, man, maybe it's for amateurs. Maybe it is for amateurs. Isn't that good then? Price action. Maybe it is for amateurs. It's a mix. I don't know. We get a mix. It's like some people's like, the price action is for amateurs, but then there's lots of people who are like, your strategy is way too complicated, bro. Just look for an FEG. You have steering wheel and iRacing? Yeah, I do. I use a wheel. I have a G Pro. It's in my closet, but Logitech G Pro, and I have a wheel stand. I was close to upgrading, but I'm gonna see if I get into it again if I upgrade. But yeah, all of that. Wheel stand. I did VR for a little bit, but I went back to triple. I have triple monitor screens that I use for it. Triple 27s. Have you tried using indicators? Yes, I have. I used indicators when I first started, and that's what taught me swarm resistance. Indicators. Without indicators confirming my lines over and over again, I wouldn't have the confidence to just drop my indicators. So yeah, indicators is like a good way to use. You know, it's a good way to like. It's like training wheels. It's good, and then eventually you don't need it no more because it's laggy anyways, right? Indicators are always lag, or news is always laggy too. So it's just price action. Indicators. All right, we might as well be here till 11, guys. Let's see. This could be a 1-2 pop, so it could be quick. That's why I'm still here. And if it is quick chat, we'll wait for that to break. So below 39.81 is when we're looking for sells, right? But you want that to break first, and then if it breaks, it could be a 1-2 pop. See how it's very slow to go up? It can come down within a 1 minute candle, 1 or 2 candles, right? It could be a lot quicker, and that's an indication of volume. And if it does, wait for a pullback and the rebreak, and that's what we'll do. Yeah, I tried VR and iRacing. It was good. It's just like annoying though, because it's like sweaty. It's like on your face. See? And I think chat, I'm gonna start placing a session stop loss. You know what? We'll call it if it breaks the highs. If it breaks the highs that we made earlier, 4,009, we'll call it a day right there, okay? But that is gonna be the session stop loss for now. For the stream, I might still be trading New York in Divas 01 if we get off earlier. But if we can get it on stream here, that'd be nice too. I would not complain. Yo, thanks for the sub. Why are buyers trying to force it to buy, but it's very bearish on a higher time frame? Don't worry what the buyers or sellers are doing, man. You know, focus on you. Focus on you. You don't need to worry about who's buying or who's selling. Just focus on you. What are you looking for? You know, you don't gotta worry about that extra noise. It's just extra noise. It won't reflect your trades. Hey, could it be a 1 hour leg candle if it flips and closes bearish here? It might be. On the 1 hour candle, if it closes bearish here, guys, could be a leg candle, which means that you can get another top wick. You used to say, hello, son. Let's see, man. It could be a 1-2 pop. 1-2 pop. 1-2 pop. I'm an 18-year-old hustling designer. If I make a great thumbnail for live streams, will you consider it? Yeah, send my DMs. You said, bro, do you like sex? All right, bro. We're about to close ball. 4 minutes. 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 Ooh, the new. Oh, word. Damn. Hey, NHL 27 review trailer coming out, bro. I'm so excited for this game. Y'all excited for NHL, bro? NHL 27. Let's watch a live premiere of it. Let's see. Any new features? I cannot wait for this game. Live reaction. Are you still on X, Don? No, but I'll be making a return soon. I haven't been on X since like January, but yeah, I'll be back to like tweeting very soon. Kanye Spain. Did it delete them? Hey man, maybe one day it'll be archive pages. Now we'll cook up Twitter. For sure. But as of right now though, YouTube is like where all the info is gonna be sent out. Like everything here. This is great. I like this. YouTube, I like this. Just, you know, the source. Everything I do is right here in front of your face. Everything, chat. Like everything. Literally. Bro, you take a daily trade or not? You gotta look, listen, then look and listen, bro. Trades taken left side of your screen. It says trades taken, gold sells today. We took trades. You see under the MT5, you see this indicator right here, bruv? Here, bruv. Right there. 2 indications of trades today. You know, you gotta look, listen, look. And you gotta pay attention to detail in trading is what I'm trying to say, man. It really matters. It really matters, bruh. Pay attention to detail. Yeah, look, listen, look, listen, look. And we're waiting for trades still. So yeah, we're still on for a little longer, but it's 11 here. See how much longer I wait. Hey, NHL trailer, let's see. Okay.
Real world arena atmospheres.
What they gonna have, bruh? What they gonna have? Okay, new
32 authentic team identities.
Oh, okay.
A revamped broadcast package.
Okay.
And the launch of the highly anticipated online connected franchise experience.
Oh.
Welcome to NHL 27.
Okay.
I'm Darren Payne, here alongside John Bucharest. And John,
yo,
this is one heck of a
that's
year
crazy.
for us
You
to
have
jump
new
into this play-by-play
presentation.
booth.
No question, Darren. We've called a lot of games from the 32 rinks around the league, and it's true what they say.
Your graph is a little
No
better.
two arenas and no 2 teams are alike. For a closer look at what's coming in NHL 27,
teams are
let's
alike.
bring in Mike Englehart from the dev team for a breakdown.
Celebrini.
You know, from the moment you walk in on game day, you're going to see the differences. From pregame presentation to the biggest moments on ice, every arena is authentic to the city and the team that plays in it.
They were supposed to do this 10 years ago.
Team-specific landmarks and light shows, well, they give each rink that identity players are looking for. Crowds and arenas react dynamically to shifts in momentum, and those goal songs, when they go off, well, they're going to remind you exactly what rink you're in.
Wait, they added the real goal songs?
On the ice, rebuilt team playbooks give each team an identity based on how they attack, defend, break out, and adjust to pressure. Let's take a look at Carolina first, who uses a balanced forecheck to clog up exit lanes and force the defense to make decisions faster. Or Los Angeles, who likes to apply heavier net front pressure, creating screens, tips, and rebound chances for the forwards to capitalize on.
Okay.
A shared online competitive experience has been one of the community's biggest requests for a long time. Connected Franchise is here. Create a league with your crew, customize the rules, manage your roster, make the trades, and settle those rivalries. No matter how you want to play, Connected Franchise is built to make the league your own. As we continue building with the community, sign up for our community playtest and help shape the future of the mode. This is NHL 27.
That's it.
Live your team, control the game, shape your league.
That's all they did, bruh. All they did was update the fucking roster, add presentations. I guess no gameplay trailer. She. Chat, I know y'all don't play this game, but you know, this is my game. I play this game every year for some reason, so it was important. What's up, Spaceman? All right, how much time we got left? Let's see. Breaking the lows here. Carolina Hurricanes won Stanley Cup Finals. Thumbs are ready. Can't DM you unless you add me. Can you check your service general chat? Bro, I heard someone said you were making some weird shit. Yo, DM me on Instagram. Not on Discord. Instagram. Check it out after the stream. You made a thumbnail that quick though, bro. Godspeed. Godspeed. Canadian FIFA, you said. I got a thumbnail, let's see. Just send it on Instagram, bro. I'll check it out after. Thank you, man. Better, you can do better AI. Let's see. Pencil, make me AI thumbnail right now. Let's see. We want it? I don't know. Let me know. Music's so loud. You're the designer, Penzo. That's the topic. Live stream thumbnail. Let's see. I don't use thumbnails lately because I just didn't feel like they were needed. But we used to have like thumbnails for every stream. When I had no thumbnails, they had better click-through performance than no thumbnails. Or click-through rate. CTR. Put a leg candle, Pencil. Put me holding a leg candle. Or FMC or what? Nah, just default for the NY sessions. Like a regular stream. Let's see. What time is it? 11:07. Below 90 for 39.81. We're looking for sales below there. I don't know. We need some volume. Session stop is up here, but we'll move it up to here. Don, what you think about DXY and gold correlation? What I use for, sorry, what do you think about DXY and gold correlation? I think it correlates, yeah. I don't use it like that though. Like for per trade, like, oh, what's the DXY doing? Let me see if I can you know, do the goals and do the opposite. Like, I think it is what it is. Like, they'll correlate at times and they won't correlate at times. But I don't use it or pay too much attention to it. If that's what you're asking. Yeah, do you use DXY for the gold moves? No, I don't. I just use the price. I use gold. Gold gives me all the information I need to know. When there's volume, when there's not volume, you know, when there's market cycles changing, like I look at gold for that. I used to though, like a lot of these things I used to do. Like I think at one point I did look at DXY, like early years though. But again, it's just a lagging indicator. Alright guys, might be GG's. I think we're gonna call it. I think we are gonna call it, guys. I think if anything, I'll see you guys in Divas 01, okay? Because I think we can still get that leg candle. I just don't know where the volume is at or when that'll come or if that'll even come today. But for the stream wise, yo, chat, we got a trade today already, right? We got gold sells earlier, wick entry sells 0.45%, 26.3 pips, and that was NY session. So yeah, chat, I'll see you guys tomorrow for Friday. Tomorrow's last day of the week. And yeah, no news, but there's some orange folders. You know, maybe tonight Asian or London can pick us up for tomorrow's NY, and maybe we'll be volatile tomorrow. All right, chat. But I'll see everyone there. Have a good day. Peace out. See you tomorrow. Peace. Laters. I'll see you guys in the group. Hunting for that leg candle. Thanks, Benzo.